When diagnosing refrigerator compressor issues, performing the right tests is critical for pinpointing the problem and guiding the troubleshooting process effectively. One of the most important tests is measuring the compressor's amp draw, which provides valuable insights into its condition. To ensure an accurate amperage measurement, start by preparing the refrigerator for testing. First, make sure the unit is connected to a stable power source. Then, set the temperature to the lowest setting to force the compressor to work harder, which helps provide a more precise reading. After waiting 5 minutes, use a multimeter to measure amp draw. During normal operation, the reading should fall between 3 and 12 amps. For the Furrion FCR20DCAFA, it's important to keep in mind that this refrigerator has a built-in auto defrost function. If you're measuring for amperage on a unit while this function is activated, your amp readings will not be accurate for identifying compressor issues. Performing a manual defrost and ensuring that there is no frost buildup is the best way to get an accurate reading. The amperage reading helps determine the compressor's condition. If it measures 0.5 amps, the compressor isn't running, which could indicate a failure or an electrical issue. A reading between 0.5 and 2.5 amps suggests low refrigerant levels, which can be confirmed by inspecting the coolant lines and refrigerator body for leaks or damage. Since this refrigerator model has coolant lines running throughout its body, a misplaced screw could puncture one of these lines. If the reading is 15 amps or higher, or the fuse keeps tripping, the compressor may be stalled or faulty. In cases where the compressor isn't starting or has readings that are pointing to a faulty compressor, the next step is to check for a short to ground to determine whether the refrigerator can be repaired or if a replacement is necessary. To check if the compressor wiring is shorted to ground, first, disconnect all power to ensure safety. Next, remove the wires from the terminal assembly and use a multimeter to check for continuity between the power wire and the refrigerator frame, as well as between the power wire and the ground wire. If continuity is detected, this indicates a pinched or damaged wire making contact with the refrigerator frame or ground wire. Inspect the wiring at the main control board, compressor control board, and compressor. Minor damage can often be repaired, but severe damage may require replacing the compressor control board or even the entire refrigerator. If no wiring issues are found, the next step is to inspect the internal components of the compressor. To check the compressor windings and internal connections, first disconnect all power and disconnect the 3-pin connector from the compressor. Then remove the compressor control board. Use a multimeter to measure continuity and resistance across the 3 compressor terminals, start, run, and common. The expected resistance values should follow this pattern. The lowest resistance should be between the start and run terminals. A higher resistance should be measured between the common and start terminals, and the highest resistance should be between the common and run terminals. If the multimeter reading shows infinite or 0 resistance, the compressor has an internal fault and the refrigerator must be replaced. If normal continuity is detected, reassemble the unit and test its operation. Sometimes simply disconnecting and reconnecting components can resolve hidden connection issues. If the problem persists after reassembly, the compressor control board should be replaced. By following these systematic steps, you can accurately diagnose and resolve compressor-related issues, ensuring a reliable and efficient repair process.